Welcome to the Botanical Medicine Study course and the Herb of the Week. My name is Stephanie Georgiev, and I'm your host and instructor for the course, which will begin in early 2023. If you would like a free introductory lesson for the course, send me an email and I will give you the link to download the video and get the handouts. At the time of this recording, as well as posting, we are in December, for which most of the world is the lead up to Christmas. Orthodox Christians are to celebrate Christmas in early January, and for those of us who participate, we are in the Holy Nights or the 12 days of Christmas. Because of all the festivities during this time, we can still focus on Christmassy herbs and spices. There's so many associations with Christmas, and obviously there are specific herbs and spices which we seem to at this time indulge in more generously than at other times of the year. For this week, the last herb of the week for 2022, fear not, there will be more next year. Our featured herb and spice is clove. Personally, I'm a bit confused as to the Latin for the plant name from which clove comes. Some sources say Eugenia carfolata, others say Sigisum aromaticum, and again, these are fabulous Scrabble words to get rid of those weird letters. The family of this plant is Myrtaceae, which is the myrtle family. This family is known for high concentration of volatile oils in the flowers and leaves and bark, and has members such as eucalyptus, allspice, and tea tree in its family members. Cloves are native to the Molucca Islands, which are now part of Indonesia. They're now known as part of Indonesia. In fact, it was only on these islands that cloves tree grew in the beginning. One of the earliest references to cloves says that the Chinese, in order to approach the emperor, had to have a few cloves in their mouths to sweeten the breath. Cloves were once very costly and played an important part in world history. Wars were fought in Europe and between the Europeans and the native islanders to secure rights to the profitable clove trade. Again, I know I keep harping on this, but I just can't, and I don't know this person personally. I'm not getting any sponsor fees, but I refer you to the interesting book Spice, The History of Temptation by Jack Turner. In his chapter on cloves, it is said that one could smell clove trees from miles away on the ships as they approached the Spice Islands. A really intriguing history involves the stealing of clove plants and trying to figure out how to grow them in other places. Again, if anyone wants a real cliffhanger and page turner for a mini series, this book is it, let me tell you. What we consider as cloves are in actuality the immature flower bud of the clove tree. Cloves come from the flower buds of an evergreen clove tree that is native, as we said, to the North Molucca Islands in Indonesia. Clove trees grow to about 26 to 40 feet tall and flower after about 6 years. The tree becomes fully mature in 20 years and can bear fruit for more than 80 years. The flower buds generally develop in color and are ready for collecting when the bud turns bright red. The flowers, which are picked before they bloom, grow in bunches at the end of the branches, and if they blossom, they are pink, and you can see that in the background of this slide. Harvested clove buds are about 1/2 to 3/4 inches long and consist of stems with 4 unopened petals which form a small ball in the center. And it's obviously that traditional look and that we all know and love. After harvesting, clove buds are spread out in a thin layer on mats to dry in the sun, or they can also be dried out in an industrial dehydrator or dryer. Cloves add a distinct flavor to anything with which they are added, from pickles to Worcestershire sauce, mixed masala tea, and one of my personal favorites, Chinese 5-spice powder. And a digression and a hint, if you want to be a complete hit at your cookie exchange, do your spice cookies with Chinese 5-spice powder, and you will win the prize, I guarantee you. Cloves, which are part of the Chinese 5-spice powder, add a very pungent flavor to anything they grace with their presence. In Ayurvedic herbalism, cloves are called lavang. And again, apologies for my Hindi accent, or my Hindi pronunciation, and are used to enhance circulation, digestion, and metabolism, and help to counter stomach disorders such as gas, bloating, and nausea. The essential oil of clove is used in an ingredient in oral hygiene products, in Ayurveda oral hygiene products, to promote tooth health and freshen the breath. In Chinese medicine, clove is referred to as dingjiang, with the literal English translation as spike fragrance. It is considered pungent and warm and enters the kidney, spleen, and stomach. Because of its warmth and aromatic properties, like other spices, this herb warms digestion and is good for reversing one of my favorite Chinese medical conditions called rebellious stomach qi, which I think this term sounds so much more poetic than vomiting. It relieves diarrhea and also warms the kidney and helps to revive yang. Similar to the herb we explored last week, I personally think drinking clove tea for those fellows who feel their yang is devastated by woke mobs. This is a much better technique than putting the male member into a box with red UV light. But then again, I'm an herbalist and I personally lack that male appendage, which seems to be under attack. But it's also much less expensive than purchasing one of those red UV light machines for the male member. But I digress. Arab doctors used clove buds to alert the digestive system, and now use cloves extensively in dental analgesic properties and products. Analgesic is a property that basically means pain relief. And these analgesic products are for topical soothing of toothaches and gum issues. Clove can be found as components of mouthwashes, and the tea and essential oils are used in the treatments of gum wounds and sores. It is felt that clove helps to clean the teeth, again in toothpastes or gargles, and I suggest using these products as trying to brush your teeth with dried clove bud may be very cumbersome and might make you bleed more, but it would be delicious in the process. The main component of clove is the volatile oil, which is made up of 79 to 85% eugenol, acetyl-eugenol, methyl salicylate, caffeine, vanillin, gum, and tannic acids. Eugenol is the ingredient that has a numbing anesthetic quality, so it's good for pain relief and is the main reason it's traditionally used for dental issues and sore throats. In medieval traditions, a clove bud could be put in the mouth to help numb a toothache. It's also a quick trick to make a strong clove tea and gargle with it to help relieve the pain of a sore throat. Clove has a powerful anti-parasitic property, which is why it is included in so many traditional culinary dishes with meat and is used in preserving all sorts of things. I've used clove in several pickling recipes and the results are quite delicious. A fun craft during the holidays is to make pomanders, which are made by studding clove buds in oranges or lemons and hanging them as decorations. These fragrant balls began not as Christmas decorations, but as personal perfumes back in the medieval times. This practice was implemented long before the invention of deodorant or modern toothpaste. As people were a little smelly back then, people of the time also believed that foul odors could cause illnesses. The main way to take cloves is through teas, which are made by boiling cloves for at least 5 minutes, letting them steep afterwards, and straining out the cloved drink. The essential oil of clove is really, really strong and should be used with caution on the skin. It is good to dilute it with a carrier oil or in warm water, say a drop to a cup of water. I also caution using clove oil in the bath unless you want tingly, burning skin for several hours afterwards. So this is Stephanie Georgia saying thanks so much for spending your valuable time with me. I hope you're enjoying many items with clove in them, and whether they be decorations, potpourris, mulled cider, or a delicious clove-infused cookie. Until next time, be well.